Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Hey guys, what's the big idea for today?
Oh, that's easy. The big idea is...
Come on, guys. You know what the big idea is. It's...
Freeze! I actually know that today's big idea is we can say yes to God. But I never told these two. Hello. Unfreeze.
Don't worry, it'll come to us.
Let me check my calendar. I write everything in there.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Well, what's it say?
It says yes.
Yes what?
Nothing, just yes.
Just yes? Oh, maybe you forgot to write the rest.
Maybe, but I don't even remember writing yes.
Yes day. It's a yes day. Yes, 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 yes. It's a yes day. Where everything is yes, yes, yes. It's a yes day. Yes day. Huh, curious. Well, we gotta have a big idea.
I agree. I mean, we could always just come up with a new big idea.
But if we do that, then we'll never know what this big idea was.
True.
I got it. So all you have is the word yes written on today's page of your calendar. How about we have a yes day together and hopefully the big idea will come to us.
I love it.
Me too.
So amazing.
Can't wait.
You guys have no idea what a yes day is, do you?
Nope.
Let's go see if our announcer guy is available to explain it. You ever used one of these old phones before?
One time.
Okay, here we go. Hey, it's May. Are you busy?
I was about to go walk my fish, Jerome, but he can hold his breath a few minutes.
Can you explain what a yes day is?
Of course.
But in your announcer voice, please.
Sure thing. Yes Day is a day filled with all yeses. You have 24 hours to ask for things that you'd really want to do, and the answer has to be yes. May, Chris, and T will help each other with their Yes Day tasks. The goal is to think big and have fun. How was that?
Lovely. Thanks.
Anytime. Jerome, you ready?
That sounds like an amazing time.
I've already got a couple of things in my mind.
Well, hold on to those thoughts. Let's each write down our lists and then meet back up and get this yes day started.
Got it.
I already have my yes day plans, so this gives me a bit of time to talk to you, Kids Club. Today's big idea is we can say yes to God. But what does that mean? Say yes to God. It means God will ask us or even tell us to do things. And God is trustworthy and good, and He wants the best for us. So when He tells us to do something, it's a great idea to say yes. But now you may be thinking, wait, God tells us to do things? Well, yeah, I mean, God doesn't necessarily ask us to clean our rooms, but He does tell us to obey our parents when they tell us to. And God doesn't ask us to shovel snow from our neighbors' sidewalks, but He does tell us to love our neighbors. And God doesn't specifically ask us to not eat candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but He does tell us to take care of our bodies. When we do those things, obey our parents, love our neighbors, take care of our bodies, we're saying yes to God. So does God tell us to do things? Is God good? Is God trustworthy? Does He want the best for us? Absolutely. Saying yes to God is part of following Jesus or being His disciple. In fact, I have the perfect video about Jesus inviting people to follow Him. Let's check it out and see if they said yes. God's story. Jesus calls disciples. So part of God's story is about how Jesus called His disciples, and it goes like this. When Jesus lived here on earth, He did amazing things, like healing people of their sickness and forgiving people of their sins. Jesus came to show us what God is like, and He chose some people to follow Him and learn His ways. Those people were called disciples. That means someone who follows Jesus. One of these disciples was named Andrew. One day, Andrew was listening to John the Baptist when Jesus walked by. John the Baptist had been teaching that Jesus was the Son of God, so Andrew decided to follow Jesus home. Andrew wanted to learn from him, so he spent the day getting to know Jesus. After that, Andrew went and told his brother Peter that he had found the Messiah, their long-awaited rescuer. So Peter went to meet Jesus too. Later, when Peter had spent the whole night fishing without catching anything, Jesus got into Peter's boat. He said, "Go out into deep water. Let down the nets so you can catch some fish." Peter obeyed, even though it didn't make much sense. And guess what? He and all the other fishermen caught so many fish that their boats began to sink. After that, Peter realized that Jesus was more than just a great teacher. He was God's son and the rescuer God had promised. Jesus said, "Don't be afraid. From now on, you will be catching men." Jesus wanted Peter to know that he would help others follow Jesus too. Another time, Jesus was going to Galilee when he met a man named Philip. Jesus said, "Follow me." And Philip did. Then, Philip went and found his friend Nathanael sitting under a fig tree and told him that he had found Jesus of Nazareth, the one that the prophets had written about and who would become the king. But Nathanael wasn't so sure. So he went to see Jesus because he wanted to know if it was true. And when he did meet Jesus, Nathanael knew he wanted to follow him. After that, Jesus saw a man named Matthew working at a tax collector's booth. Back then, tax collectors were some of the most hated people around because they took more money than they were supposed to and usually didn't get in trouble for it. But Jesus went right up to Matthew and said, "Follow me." So Matthew did. While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, other tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. The religious leaders saw this and they asked why Jesus would eat with people like Matthew and his friends. Jesus said that it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. Kids, everyone messes up, and we all need a rescuer, even if we try to act like we're perfect. The religious leaders thought they didn't need any help, but Matthew knew that he did. Anyway, Jesus called 12 disciples: Peter, Andrew, James, John, Philip, Nathanael, Thomas, Matthew, another James, Thaddeus, Simon, and Judas. And through them, many amazing things were done in Jesus' name. Some of them wrote books in the Bible that we read today, and they helped others follow Jesus all over the world. Some of the first disciples were poor and even outcasts, but Jesus still called them to follow him because Jesus wants his kingdom to have all kinds of people, no matter where they live, what they look like, what they own, how old they are, or what cool dance moves they can do. Anyone who chooses to follow Jesus is a disciple, whether it's someone who got to see and hear Jesus in person, or whether you learn about him today. That means we can follow and obey Jesus. We can learn from him and live like he wants us to live. We can teach others and show them what Jesus was like, and we can trust that Jesus will help us understand what it means to follow him. And that's the story of how Jesus called his disciples. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. A disciple is someone who follows Jesus. Some of the first disciples were Andrew, Peter, Philip, Nathanael, and Matthew. Jesus showed Peter that he could help others follow Jesus. Jesus showed Nathanael that he knows everything about him. Jesus called Matthew, even though others thought he was a sinner. And Jesus calls all of us to be his disciples. As I suspected, those people said yes to following Jesus. Peter was a fisherman, and when he said yes, that meant leaving his fishing nets behind and following Jesus instead. Matthew was a tax collector, and when he said yes, he left behind a lot of money. Just like Peter and Matthew, we can say yes to God when he calls us to follow him. If you take anything away from today, it's that we can say yes to God.
Hey, that sounds like a great big idea.
Man, too bad we still don't know what today's big idea is, but we do know we're about to have some fun.
You guys have your lists?
Yes!
Oh, well, what are we waiting for? Let's get this Yes Day started!
Yes!
This is gonna be fun. Let's take a quick break, and when we get back, prepare for the most epic Yes Day ever! Yeah. Welcome back, Kids Club. So today's big idea is...
Yes day! Yes day! Yes day! Yes day!
So today's big idea is...
Yes day!
Today's big idea is... we can say yes to God. There are so many ways we can say yes to God. Earlier we mentioned that we can say yes to God by loving our neighbors, or by taking care of our bodies, or even obeying our parents. God wants what's best for us, and He also wants us to have fun. And what better way to have fun than our epic Yes Day together? We've got our activities, and now it's time to say yes. First stop, batting cages. You ready, fellas?
Yes!
Play ball!
Whoa! Whoa!
I've never done this in my life, but am I gonna try? Yes. Are you ready? Here we go. You can do it. I know you can. Here we go. Yes! Let's go! You did it! Woo! Oh, we can do better.
Up next, a puppy party.
What's a puppy party?
Is she okay?
Yes.
Next up, go-kart racing.
Yes! Next up, hibachi.
What's hibachi?
You're gonna love it. Let's go. Can I try that? This doesn't feel right. This feels right.
I love rice. Three out of 3!
Oh yeah.
Next up, virtual reality.
Yes!
How'd I miss that? Oh, I see you guys. Wow. At the beginning, I was like, yeah, yeah.
And up next, a helicopter ride for these two.
Yes!
Did you guys enjoy Yes Day?
Yes.
You plan on doing one again?
Yes.
Did you ever figure out what today's big idea is?
Yes.
Wait. No.
Today's big idea is we can say yes to God.
Yes.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
See, I told you it was a great big idea. But wait, we never did a teaching on the big idea.
Yes, we did.
May say what?
Our Yes Day was a metaphor or an example for how great life can be when we say yes to God. Life won't always be a day of fun and we won't always get to do whatever we want, but we can always say yes to God.
Wow. Who would have thought our day was a metaphor?
Let's do it again and have a Meta 5.
I like that. I don't think it's a thing.
We can make it a thing.
Yes.
See you later, Kids Club.
We're gonna go create a Meta 5.
Until next time. Oh yeah, don't forget, we can say yes to God. Wait up for me, guys!
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.